In 21 days, the Dogecoin and XRP ETFs go live. Is that really the case? Additionally, I have some news for you, and I don't even want to say it, but with XRP, due to the bullish momentum we have right now, I would be cautious and I will prove it to you. And finally, we'll also take a look at today's trading setup. What did I bet on and how did I shift my position? You'll find out all of this now in the video, and after the intro. Today's picture looks pretty green if you look at it like this and leave John and BNB aside. Bitcoin is holding up quite solidly. XRP is currently surging with a 12% increase. I want to call for a brief pause before you invest in anything here in blind euphoria. Please, wait until the end of this video, but what's even more incredible are your daily click numbers. Your support is amazing. Almost 4,200 views in the last 22 hours. It seems you really liked the last video. Also, the likes are going up again. Will we crack 300 today? It's really simple, and I'm curious. For those of you who really go through with it, it's completely free for you. And it simply supports my work, my hours of research, and this entire channel, and boosts the video if you leave a free, so feel free to just click the button and also write a comment. It boosts the algorithm. And if this might be your first video today, and you're looking for a channel that provides you with fact-based, honest, non-hyped, and transparent content, delivers the most important crypto news, the occasional trading signal and setup, then welcome. You too can become an uptrender, and it's all simple and free. Leave a free subscription, activate the bell so you don't miss any important information. And now let's get started. Yes, you can clearly see, Atticure, that fear is present in the market. And I'm already considering making a separate video over the weekend on how you might want to handle some of your altcoin holdings and possibly not fall into blind panic right now. So, if you're interested in the topic, if I should talk about it, feel free to write it in the comments, because here again you can see, yes, Trump has concerns regarding his crypto council. It is now being said, well, there probably won't be a formal crypto council. But rather, instead, the White House will likely convene a rotating group of crypto leaders for a series of summits on specific crypto policy topics. Well, for one, we don't know if this source is credible. On the other hand, if this really turns out to be the case, then this whole election program around Trump was, in my eyes, absolute bullshit. Because then it was just about appealing to an interest group to win them as voters. And the whole thing was just baseless. But I don't want to throw in the towel and say, yes, that's it. And that's how it was. Let's wait and see what the individual news brings, because from a purely monetary perspective, Trump should have a significant interest in pushing the whole crypto topic forward. And all in all, bullish news keeps coming up. Bullish news keeps appearing. For example, the topic that Robert Kennedy Jr., here, as Trump's health secretary, was appointed. However, I would like to express at this point, so bullish news, yes, that's okay. But what about the health minister now? Then again, with possible Bitcoin reserves that he mentioned during his campaign and far beyond Loomis, I believe was about $460 billion that were supposed to flow into Bitcoin reserves. What he can achieve as health minister in any form, well, we can discuss that now. So we all hope that he provides a better build-up than our German health minister, although that's not too difficult. All in all, it should also be noted that the crypto space is getting bigger and bigger. And especially in terms of trading, if we look at Coinbase here, all expectations were exceeded with a reported profit of $4.68 per share. And a revenue of $2.27 billion, while $1.88 billion were expected. Coinbase was able to record the highest quarterly revenue in 3 years. The net profit of the largest US trading platform for cryptocurrencies rose from $273 million compared to the same period last year to an impressive $1.3 billion. And here you can see the whole thing again. Particularly noteworthy is the massive increase in transaction revenues, which more than doubled to $1.56 billion. And why is that there are definitely a lot of traders out there and probably somewhat fewer pure hodlers. Now let's move directly to the SEC, or rather to the XRP and Dogecoin ETF, because indeed a lot happened there yesterday. So yesterday the SEC recognized the 19B4 form. So Grayscale submitted the application for an XRP Trust, or rather not Grayscale directly, but NYSE Arca, the exchange. And they submit such a form when there are significant changes of any kind, which, for example, concerns another security. Now, one must understand at this point, because many people always ask, why didn't they approve the thing right away? Well, it's a regulatory authority, and with a regulatory authority, there are naturally several steps before an approval is granted. This means that it was first approved, okay, this form is allowed to proceed. Then the SEC publishes exactly this form and it can be commented on. So whether it's from the public or the applicant, and then the authority has a maximum of 240 days to make a decision, including possible extensions. So what does this look like in detail? First, there are these 21 days during which the SEC gathers various opinions. After the 21 days, there are another 14 days for a counter statement. So an additional period, and then there are these 45 days, during which the SEC then can make a decision. However, it usually looks like an extension is granted. Of course, they are authorities. It's no different than in Germany and elsewhere in the world. Well, and then this extension can be gradually extended up to 240 days. What is positive about this, however, is that after 240 days, they must either an approval or a rejection must occur. However, today the first crypto index ETF is supposed to launch on NASDAQ, at least according to this post. What is the difference here? It's relatively simple to explain. Of course, a Bitcoin Spot ETF logically includes what only Bitcoin, or the Ethereum Spot ETF, only Ethereum. In this index ETF, various crypto assets are included. And what a great surprise. We are talking here in the first step about Bitcoin and Ethereum, so basically a mixed form. Let's move directly to trader Garlinghouse, who at least managed to calm the XRP community and especially the larger holders a bit. So corresponding wallet movements have been observed. And indeed, with this post where he explained yesterday, yes, so he definitely feels a positive mood there. And now one might say Garlinghouse has the insights regarding the shorter movements in the political segment, how the sentiment towards crypto is, etc. So all in all, as I said, I don't want to jump the gun and say Trump only used it as a campaign strategy. I do believe that quite a bit is happening in the background, but it just takes time. The reason why I'm not in a full buying frenzy with XRP right now and saying go all in now the rocket is about to launch. You can see it here on the liquidation heat map. Yes, some might stand up now, but in the end, I have been proven right time and again. And we are about to get to my trading setup. But if we look at this here, there's a lot of liquidity down here, especially here. Wow, that's a lot. It's also somewhat clear because I assume that many have over leveraged here, started long positions, and that naturally builds up accordingly. And now the big question is, what are the market makers doing without delving too deeply into it? On the 3-day view, you can't see anything here. Now let's zoom out completely and see if there's still relatively much up there. And yes, of course, one could say there's quite a bit to pick up there. However, here it feels like a completely empty space. So, as I said, I don't want to sound bearish. Not that someone says, again, you're just spreading fear and so on. No, I don't. I just see it realistically, and now it rather feels like this bull run is really interesting for traders, where you go and say, okay, I realize profits, then reinvest down here, and the whole thing rises again. So you can really take advantage of a lot with price movements here. If you look at how quick pumps are simply possible, especially when it comes to trading, many stumble because they say, oh, yes, how is that possible and how does it work properly? And I've only heard that you can burn a lot of money there. For exactly this reason, because there are also different types and possibilities of trading, I started a separate group with 2 profit that you can use completely for free. It's the VIP trading. The only thing you need is a BingX account and a bit of balance in the wallet, so you can basically follow these signals. No investment advice at this point, of course. But when you look at the results, they are quite impressive. And it's really quite appealing. It operates through a licensed exchange, which is always very important to me personally. In addition to the signal group, there is also a chat here where you can ask your questions, which is always very, very important. And when you look at this here, you can definitely take something away from it. So, of course, there are also some losses, which is completely normal as long as it remains within a healthy ratio. And you also see more and more people joining the group. So if you're interested, as I said, it's completely free. Check out the description where you'll find the full explanation. Otherwise, you can, of course, write to me directly if you have any questions about it. But personally, I think it's a cool thing. Now, let's move directly to my trading setup in the account that I manage for someone else and show you completely neutrally. So you see Bitcoin and Ethereum are already running quite well in the plus. For Ethereum, I adjusted the leverage again. I'll get to that separately in a moment. To that here. Now with XRP, I have placed my limit orders down here. I'll show you that briefly in TradingView as well. So one is around about 2.47. You can see here, there was always solid support included. Often testing here, whether it's a rejection now or even a breakthrough here. Depending on that, but I've placed something in this area. And then down here in this volume zone, which we see down here, I've also placed something again in case we go further down, which isn't too bad. It is quite conceivable right now that we will run into this volume area again. However, as I said, I can personally very well imagine that. Since there's just so much liquidity down there, there might be a pullback here. And the market makers just want to play a bit of ping pong with you again and eventually liquidate you. So please do it smarter. With Ethereum, I also adjusted the position a bit since it's already well in profit. I increased it to a 7x leverage and reduced the margin a bit. Then I placed a limit order in this area again. Why? I can simply show you that here now. You see, we are currently, volume-wise, in a bit of an empty space here. So there's more above and more below. That's why above, you can see this volume block here. I set a maker profit there. So it means if it should exceed this value, I also looked at the chart again. Where was there a bit of support here? And if it goes through that, then this trade is already closed. On the other hand, to ensure I can't go into the negative, I set a stop loss down here. Now, it's important to understand that if it falls down here and executes this limit order for me, then the average purchase price will naturally shift upwards, probably somewhere in this range, and then I will adjust the stop loss again. But now let's see. As I said, if the breakout, if I possibly reaches up here, then it's all very relaxed because then all of this becomes irrelevant and ideally it rises for me back in down here. And as always, I'm curious about your thoughts. On one hand, if you liked the video, feel free to leave a free like. I would be thrilled if this was your first video and you haven't subscribed yet. Feel free to do so for free and activate the bell so you don't miss any important information. Otherwise, feel free to write in the comments what you think. Will the spot ETFs come? Specifically regarding XRP and Dogecoin. By the way, there is supposed to be much more in the pipeline. So let's see what else will happen. And otherwise, of course, are you feeling bullish? Do you believe XRP will now skyrocket or will there really be another setback? We will see, but I am definitely looking forward to your opinion. And let's discuss in the comments. Finally, I can give you the tip to also check out this video. There I provide you with the latest news about Ripple, INC, and the SEC, meaning the legal dispute, because that is, of course, also relevant for the ETF. So in this sense, we'll see each other tomorrow for the next video. Until then, all the best. Bye.